Hey guys, um, Mount Vernon Kid here, back again. Oh boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We have a lot to talk about on this episode. This is episode 14. This is episode 37 of the series. Episode 14, I believe, of the season two. Escape from Earth 2. Uh, lot that goes down on here. So basically, in the concept, guys, Zoom knows that Harrison Wells is on Earth 2, thanks to certain things that have happened, and he's on the hunt to look for, and Harrison knows that he's coming, so he has to prepare for it. Barry is still being held as I guess you could kind of say a POW by Zoom, and Jesse is in the next door, next. And then, of course, it's the man in the iron mask who's just knocking. And we don't know who this guy is. We don't know who he is, but he seems to continue the same pattern over and over. Uh, Earth 2 Flash is reunited with Earth 2 Iris, and he kind of steps up kind of big in this. Earth 2 Wally is a lot different from Earth 1. We get to see Iris's new editor, and already I'm not liking the fool. He's kind of a prick. Um, and of course, there's still concept going on with Geomancer, who once again just feels like another villain of the month, villain of the week. And Jay deals with him thanks to Caitlin coming up with a new version of Velocity. What did she call it? 9 or 8 now. And she also finds out that it's actually helping Jay his cells, like it's basically curing him in a sense. Uh, but then we back on Earth 2, and we find out that Barry can't get out of his cell because of the reasons that they talked about in the first episode. Was that Earth 2 is on a different frequency, and so he can't really get through. Um, he's in there, and when Zoom comes in, Zoom just beats him up a little bit more, and just but once again, you know, and they start figuring out little things, and they start figuring out the pattern, and we find out that the knocking is he's talking about Jay, and once they say Jay, the guy he kind of shakes his head, and Barry tells him Jay is alive, and it's almost like he flips out over that, like he gets really upset, and that's where the clues start. You like, okay, what's going on? Uh, Stuff with Killer Frost again. Danielle as Killer Frost. I love her as Killer Frost. She's the total opposite of what we see Caitlin on Earth 1. And the one thing we do get to see is that no matter how cold hearted she's supposed to be, she's just as much as Caitlin as ever. And Cisco actually brings that out of her. Because of the fact that once again, you know, uh, Ronnie's dead. So, and that was the love of her life, and Cisco was able to get it. I love how she kept calling Cisco kept calling her Caitlin, and she kept saying, "Don't call me that." It almost had like a Eddie Brock Venom vibe. Stop calling us that. We are Venom now, something like that. But it was still pretty cool. I just loved seeing that. Um, and it basically gets pretty cool, especially when the Geomancer stuff, like I said, once again, was because he actually followed. I don't know how he was able to find, you know, the lab and everything. He just came out of nowhere and you know wrecking wrecking making earthquakes and seismic quakes, and all of a sudden he pretty much nearly ruined the means of getting back and forth. But thanks to Caitlin, she actually used like the like nullifiers and wrapped it around his neck, and she said I was aiming for his leg, but she got him in the neck, which was interesting. But once again, it was just like, yeah, okay, that's. But just get back to what's going on Earth too. And once Barry has a little bit of a pep talk from his Earth 2 counterpart, he's able to get out of the uh, the cell that he's in, and unfortunately, they are trying to get back. But first, at one point, it looked like dun 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 because Zoom comes back, and Zoom looked like he was going to kill Jesse, and then the unthinkable steps up happens, and Killer Frost steps in and freezes him, and she realized she even says, you're right, I did, you were right about me. I do love Ronnie. I did love Ronnie, and he killed him. And so Caitlin is still there. It's just under all that ice, she's still there. You gotta really dig deep. Um, and basically, Jay is able to keep the portal, open thanks to the Velocity 9 that he was on, and Joe helps out to like stabilize it. And before they're about to leave, Jesse, Cisco, and Wells about to jump through. But Barry, he wants to get the guy in the Iron Mask out, but he can't. But just when Wells is about to jump through, what's the name pulls him back, and it looks like, oh, this is it for Dr. Wells. But he stabs him with, I guess, a syringe of that what was from the turtle. It stops him. Barry gets him. They jump back through, and pretty much looks like it's all clear. Everything's happy ending. Everybody's back. Jesse is reunited with her father. Mission accomplished. Everything like that. And I'm looking at this, guys, and I'm saying to myself, Jay, get away from move. Because anytime stuff like that happens, I'm just like, something bad's gonna happen. And sooner or later, bam, you see a hand come through vibrating and pulls Jay back, and it was just like, oh, fuck. And then I said, to quote Dashi, if you guys don't know who Dashi is, a great funny YouTuber here, and I just went, no, like, well, I'm not gonna yell too loud, but yeah, I was just like, oh. But then I started thinking to myself, and that's how the episode ended. But I started thinking, I had some theories, and I'm gonna share those theories. What if Jay's not dead? What if Jay's not dead? The question of who's in the Iron Mask. What if I have two theories about the man in the Iron Mask. That's either Henry or that's the real Jay. Because once again, it brings you back to, once again, the I'm the Geek High Lord of New York is going back to reading a lot of Flash with old school, Golden Age Flash. He too had his own version of a reverse Flash or things like that. And I'm wondering, could that be? Could that be who that was? There are certain things that are just really bugging me about the way that ended. Like, okay, Jay can't be dead. The Man in the Iron Mask. Those are my two theories. That's either Jay really, or that's Henry Allen. Uh, or there's even more theories that there is a trailer that shows that Zoom will remove his mask soon. So could then there's also the theory of, I know people got this other theory that Henry Allen is actually Zoom. That's the plot, and that's where the plot keeps thickening. Who is Zoom in this? But this was still a good episode, very good episode indeed. Um, Next week's episode is gonna be fun because King Shark's coming back, baby, and it's kind of playing off a little bit of a Jaws vibe, and I like it. Uh, Also, good to see that Diggle and his wife are gonna be in this episode, so we're gonna see John guest star on the episode, which is gonna be funny. But yeah, Jay dead. Honestly, guys, yours truly. I don't think so. I'm starting not to think so too much. I'm still a little upset, but I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead. But we've seen the and we've seen that before, but I'm just not really convinced that he's dead. Now, March. Now, here's some more theories of how what may happen with the whole Supergirl Flash idea. That doesn't happen till March 28th. But what if Barry tries to go back to save the Man in the Iron Mask or try to get Jay or whatever, and something happens and he ends up on that Earth where Supergirl is? Think about it like that. I'm going to end it with that, guys. But other than that, good episode. I liked it. And I'll see you guys next week when we enter the Speed Force once again. Yeah. You guys take care. I'll see you guys next time.